Amy at EuroLuxHome.com. I would love to tell you all about this great big huge monumental antique Renaissance style buffet. It's our item number 26-17. And boy, does this have a lot of amazing details. So we are known for great big huge pieces, and this is one. This is 110¼ inches high. So you really do need big ceilings, but it just draws your eye up. It's a whopping 67 inches wide and 22½ inches deep. So if you are looking for a great big monumental piece that is just going to be an eye catcher, as soon as you walk in your home, woo, it will catch your attention. So this piece dates right about 1890, and it is completely hand carved in solid walnut. Now, walnut has a beautiful patina as it ages. It just gets a nice, warm, little bit reddish glow, and that glow just keeps continuing as it ages. It's so pretty. And if you're not familiar with the Renaissance style, I have made a whole separate video all about the history, how the style developed, hallmarks of the style. So if you'd like a lot more details, go find that video. I think you'll find it really interesting. But I'll tell you a few of the details right now. So the Renaissance style originally started back in Italy in the 15th century, and then it spread across Europe. And by the 16th century, it had moved into France, where the details became even more. But we always find a focus on the classical Greco-Roman architecture. And this piece really has a lot of details to look at. So first of all, we'll come all the way up to the top. So up at the top, we have what's called a broken pediment. It's not broken, it just means that we have this curve of the arch, and then right in the center is a heraldic crest. Now there are actually initials up there, SB, which means that this piece was most likely actually made for a family. So often you'll find the heraldic crest just blank, but this one actually has initials up there. So most likely it was actually a custom order piece. And then, so you have this great big cornice at the top, and then the next thing that draws your eye is this great big triumphal arch. If you've ever been to Italy and Rome, you will see great big architectural arches all over the city. And they were built by the emperors as symbols of when they would go to war, military campaigns, and they would win. And they'd come home and build these great big triumphal arches that then they would process and have parades through. So we have that up at the top, and then on either side we have laurel leaves, and laurel leaves also symbolize victory. And there are actually columns on either side, and even a little bit of fruit, carved fruit, that sense of abundance and prosperity. Then we have a more cornice on either side, and we have this really interesting interlocking sort of a puzzle pattern across the top, really unique. And then right here under our big barrel arch is a great big huge carved shell. It's so pretty and attractive, and it just, again, that warm patina just stands off. Then underneath we have an idea of rectangular shapes with almost like a balustrade. You could imagine it's like a walkway, like maybe this is a great big library and you could just walk across the top of that. Gives you that sense. And so imagine you could even put in some books here and really add character to your home. But you can also put plates, or imagine putting framed family photos or vases. You have this great big space, so all kinds of possibilities for that. Now, on either side of our great big space in the middle, we do have two doors. And I'll just come over here and we'll look at the details on this side. So we have Doric columns, again, that focus on architecture, using the elements of Greco-Roman architecture actually as part of the style of the piece, is very typical in the Renaissance style. So we have our columns coming down, and then here in the middle, we have all of these really interesting and detailed carvings. Now here we have a swag of drapery, which again symbolizes victory. Up at the top, we have a little basket of fruit, and then we have all of these little, we have an urn here in the middle, and these little dragon, or what's called grotesque figures. And what these are coming out of are the mosaics that were found in Greco-Roman culture. And so all of these designs are just coming from Greece and Rome. It's really interesting, very detailed. And I'll point out here our hardware, nice brass hardware that's pierced. That's all hand cut. And I'll go ahead while you're up here and just show you that you do have adjustable shelves on either side, so you have storage space and then also display space in the middle. Now coming down, this is part of what's so unique about this piece. Look at the details. So here we have, it's a structural support, it's holding the top to the bottom, but we have a winged angel, again representing the mythological figure of victory. So we have this angel, it's actually a female angel, and she has wings and the feathers come down, again swags of drapery, and this plinth or column holding her up. So really interesting, just this mythology is often found in the Renaissance style. We have another plate rack or balustrade here, and great big wide space. Imagine using this piece maybe in your dining room, and you could set out your dishes or serve meals here during the holidays. As we come down, we do have 3 drawers, so a great big drawer in the middle, smaller drawers on either side, and the hardware is really interesting. This is all hand-hammered, handmade, and it's interesting because the central handle is a little different from this handle, and this is mirrored on the other side. So we actually have 2 different, and there's a good amount of weight, but 2 different styles of hardware on the drawer. Imagine putting your silverware or your linens or whatever you need in the drawers. And then as we come down, we have even more. I'll just first show you that we do have more storage space on the inside, maybe great big serving pieces. And then we come down, and here we have more columns, but this one is actually interesting, kind of a scalloped shape to the columns. Over here we have a shell motif and just some architectural elements, kind of a big block and some little plinths, the curve of the top of a column. And then here in the middle, we have a really interesting, again, mythology coming. It looks like a lion, maybe his little ears. Now here, you might have thought it was a ram and these were his horns, but this is actually the idea of a heraldic crest. And then we have our lion grimacing right there in the middle. And coming over here, we have the same mirrored pattern on the other side. So there's just so much to look at on this piece, so many details, and the quality level is very high on this piece. It is massively heavy, but just really stunning. So if I can answer any additional questions for you, please feel free to reach out at 803-276-4001. Remember that EuroLuxHome.com does include free shipping, even on a great big huge piece like this, within the continental US and some places in Canada. But let me know how you would use a piece like this in your home in the comments below. See you next time.